Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be breaking down the stock market. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to help out and support the channel, get my live trading, get daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, and all kinds of long term and short term setups, definitely check out my link down in the description. And now, let's get right into it, guys. Welcome back, everybody, once again. And you can see the market actually getting a little bit of pullback into the new year. Now, if you look at my screen, we talked about it before in my video that silver and gold, definitely the way it's going up, it's going to come back crashing down. And we saw that futures market going up rapidly last night and then gave it all back and gave some more. You can see right here, this is actually a dramatic reversal overnight happening, especially on silver, and then not to mention gold and all the other metals, everything coming down. Now, what market did today, you can see Dow was down 0.5%, Nasdaq down 0.5%, it was down nearly 1%, S&P down 0.35%, Russell going down 0.61%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. And what do you know? Energy was the top performer today, and it actually led the way. Real estate and then everything else pretty much was in deep red today to even flat. You can see, and technology is actually bottom, at the bottom section here. And then we got financial, consumer cyclical, basic materials took a big hit today. Stock market map, what do we got here on stock market map? Well, we talked about it, and I think I'll cover that in my video with big mega cap stocks. But if you actually missed out, go ahead and check out that video where I cover all the big names, and Tesla was one of them, where I said that Elon Musk will start selling, and the result is right in front of you guys. After hitting almost 500, and people that were actually chasing, what happened? $40 gone from Tesla within just couple of sessions. As a matter of fact, like 2 sessions and $40 gone. Another, few sessions and maybe $100 gone. That's typical, for Tesla to do that. Down 3.27%, Meta down 0.69%, Google flat, Amazon flat, Apple flat, Microsoft flat, Nvidia down 1.21%. But look at here, AMU. This one is the new mega cap in the making. I mean, come on, this thing is up 3.36% for the day. Then we got PLTR down 2.41%, Oracle down, and pretty much all the other chip names, including Broadcom, which was down on the day 0.78%. And now I think we need to start with silver again and gold and see where things are going before heading into the market. On silver, it's down 7.19%. So it was down nearly 10% or just over 10% at one point. But then again, we pushed back up and now just over 65, closing at 66. But it's down over 7%. So what happened last night? Well, a lot of people that were actually short and a lot of people that were actually chasing, they got really excited last night. They saw the futures market ripping on silver. And within moments, just 10 minutes, gave it all back, went down, came back up, and the hope was alive again, and then gave it all back, especially in futures market. And this morning was just a horrible day for the silver bulls buying at the top. And that's why my channel and myself always against buying when things are at extreme and overbought. And this is exactly what I said in my video. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out that video that actually came out over the weekend, on especially silver and gold. And what's happening right now, you can see we might be going for that gap right up here that we gapped on today. But so far, even with this kind of volume, it's not happening, guys. So watch out. This 65 zone has to hold. Previous rejection now, acting as a support, even though we went underneath that level. If we actually get under this level, and the weekly expected move was $64 to the downside. So, we went slightly lower, came back up, so it's holding. But if this thing actually gets under 65 and stays under 65, we could be going down to that $61 right here to close this gap from last week. But to the upside, watch out. There might be some sort of a dead cat bounce back up to this gap. And that's where you got to watch this thing really carefully. It's still extremely overbought, and it could come down even more. On gold, it's also down almost 6%. And if you look at my screen, I'm not going to get too much into details here with the gold. And you can see this trend line that was actually holding up for past maybe couple of weeks. We actually came into this trend line and so far just resting there. That 85 to 86 gives up. We could be going down further. And that means one thing, all the metals, everything that are up massively this year, next year, they can actually take a back seat, or at least they can come down 15-20% easily. We saw 10% drawdown on silver. And look at the other one. What's that? PALL. I mean, as a matter of fact, let's just have a look at it, guys. I mean, that thing took a massive beating today. And you can see, I mean, look at this move, down 14% on the day. So this is one of the biggest drawdown in recent history. And if this actually continues for another day or two, or even later on, let's say next year, guess what's going to happen to silver and gold? These things are going to come down. And I think this one already gave us a hint before last week when this thing was down, I think 11%. And look at today. It was down, I think, at one point like 16, 17%, and still down quite a bit. 14% is not a joke. And it could be going down even more. So we got to be careful. Especially, I see a lot of people on X buying silver, and nobody was really into silver. They would not even know what to do with silver before, but when they saw like the volume coming in and everybody saying silver, silver, SLB and all that, while everybody piling in, and that's how that thing went up. And then what happened? Crashed, right? It can go down even more. Even if it goes up, it's going to come down even more because it's still extremely overbought, just like this thing here, which is also extremely overbought. Now, this video is about stock market, but quickly, another thing I want to point out, when you go and buy things on top, what happens? Well, you see a lot of people are flushing on X and just throwing numbers out, 500, 550, 600, and all that. And Tesla is another one, and we took this trade just about few days ago, pretty much near these highs right here. I think it was right about here that we took this trade, and since then, this position is now up 20 plus percent on Tesla puts. And it could be going up even more because we broke this trend line. And why I'm actually showing you guys this here on Tesla, we're going to get into S&P 500 very soon. That SLV and Tesla and all that were actually going higher and pretty much hitting all-time highs. What happened and what can happen when you go and chase? So yes, these types of trade ideas are available on Patreon. So if you're also serious about trading and you want to really do this, and I still have this position, I have not sold any, definitely guys, check out the link down in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into S&P. On SPY ETF, it's down 0.36%, so nothing big, but I've been talking about it in my channel that we cannot afford to open any longs here. We need to wait for consolidation or possibly a pullback, which could be coming in near future. Yes, it's down today, but you can see we had a doji last week on Friday. We got another one today, and the market was just too weak to go up and close the gap from today, which is at 689. So what is next? Well, this week again, you're not going to see a lot out of the stock market. We saw a little bit more volume today, but again, I think Thursday market will be closed for the new year. And then Friday market will open, but it's a shortened week, guys. You're not gonna see a lot of movement. Expected move here on SPY is plus or minus, I think $6.50, and today we got about 2.5 to 3, and that was it. So I think the bigger move you're going to see, whatever that is, next year, come next week, that's when it's going to start. Now, again, if we can get over, you can see this was just a fake breakout. We don't have a confirmation. If today market was closing over brand new all-time high, that would be more bullish, but we did not do that. We had a doji type of candle today. So what is next? Well, you can see we did actually came really close to that 685.88. The support level here, 686 was low for the day, and then we went higher from there, but did not go all the way up to the gap. So if this level breaks, what happens? Well, there is a gap, hourly gap, or even a daily gap. And why I have this hourly chart, you can see this is a clearly a bear flag pattern on this hourly downtrend. And we actually went on an hourly downtrend, came down here, hitting the lower band, and then went back up. So I mean, it's not all too good, but it's not also extremely bearish where I would say, oh my God, market is going down to zero and we just have to get out. So the market still looks good, but there is not much upside here to go and buy into anything. If we come down to, let's say, 682, 681, that would be a nice opportunity for you to maybe play it back up to the upside, as long as the key word here, as long as the support can hold up there, guys. So watch out tomorrow, that 685.88 breaks. We could be pulling down to this 20-day 683.52 to the support 682 and the gap fill at 681. To the upside, definitely watch out for the resistance right here, 689.72. If we can get over that, we might be going back up to possibly another brand new all-time high, which could be 693 to 694 until this Bollinger Band expands all the way up to 700. Then we could see that move here on S&P. On triple Q, it's down 0.48%. So if you look at my screen, I mean, this is getting ridiculous, guys. I mean, look at this. Gap on top, gap on bottom. And we came really close to it today. Look at this, 618.73. It would not come down and close the gap. So what is, so much that's actually holding up here, and we would not close the gap because bulls, they know if we crack under 617, there is going to be a lot of pain here on Nasdaq. You can see top, this was another top, and now we are just banging our head right against this trend line here. And so far, not a good response from the bulls, and things are just pushing back. So that does not mean that we cannot break out, but this is definitely something that looks like, we're really going anywhere. Today was another day with a doji type of candle. So watch out tomorrow. We might pull back into the gap here, 617, and that would be a nice, a dip buying zone as long as the support holds. If not, we could be pulling into that 613 area right here. To the upside, now I have a gap here at 623. If we can get over that, we might see a push up to this trend line, which is at 625, and then we could see a move towards this gap just under 630. On IWM, it's down 0.61%. So a lot of these smaller companies, smaller banks, you know, uh, are in big losses. Smaller companies are filing bankruptcies out there, and it's to the level that we have not seen, especially from 2002, 2008, and even in recent times back in pandemic. Now, what the heck is going on here on small caps? Well, we saw that impressive rally to the upside, brand new all-time high, and that was mainly for rate cuts, easy money. But if these companies, the smaller companies that are on Russell here, if they're going bankrupt, guess what? What the heck are you gonna do with the easy money, right? You don't even have a company. You're gonna borrow money for who and for what? And if you don't have a company, you cannot even borrow money. I mean, based on what? So now, like I said before in my video over the weekend, when market realizes that something is broke, something is going on really seriously in the economy, market will react. Right now, it's running on that juice from Powell and Trump. Everything is good, inflation is good, job numbers are good, unemployment is good, and market just realizes that okay, everything is fine, we can just push higher. But at some point it's going to realize that, and that's the main theme of rate hike, slowing things down. Now nobody will tell you that. People will say, "Oh, Powell is just bullish." Yes, he's dovish and all that, but the point of hiking rate to slow things down. And this is exactly what they did. And this is exactly what's affecting these companies, the banks that are sitting on big losses. Not everybody have money like JPM and GS and all that, right? So now you're seeing these companies filing bankruptcies. And then IWM still close to all-time highs. We're not actually going down that much here. This bear flag is playing out. We could be reaching 248. That's going to be a support. Next one at 245. And then we can talk about more downside. It's just a daily downtrend here on IWM. If we go back up and get over this previous high, which we did last week, and then we had a breakdown again on Friday over 252, that's gonna actually look more bullish for more upside, possibly back up to all-time highs. But as of right now, it looks like we could be coming down to 248, 245, and maybe from there next year. I'm not talking about this few days left here in the stock market for this year. But I think next year we could see that move to the downside here on IWM. So Dow is also down 0.5%, and you can see closing right on the dot, right at that previous all-time high. So if that support gives up 484.44, we could be landing down to this 20-day here, 481.56, 480, and underneath this low down here, I mean, you can see this is actually, you can call this a double top, also a bear flag pattern, and so far we're just pulling in here on Dow. So if this thing actually gets under 480, perhaps takes out this low down here, which is at like 479.34, it's going to make a new low. And don't forget, S&P and Nasdaq, they came down. They did close that gap previously that we had with the same gap up that we got here on Dow, but Dow did not close this gap here at 471.9. So at some point, it's going to get down here. It's going to close the gap. It's going to look really ugly. And that's why going long and thinking about being bullish here at the top is very, tough, especially people that are new and they think that, oh, these flows are coming in. Somebody's posting on X and we're just going to get there, guys. Trust me, the flows do not work. And why, I was actually showing you guys Tesla, because this is exactly what a lot of retail traders, investor, they saw these flows coming in on Tesla, on X, and on YouTube, and they thought, this is it. We gotta go in. It's Tesla. It's not no Neo stock. It's not no, some Nike stock or CMG. It's Tesla. We gotta go all in here at the top, and now 40 bucks down. Same thing can happen with the market. When you're chasing at all-time highs for more upside, you always gotta wait. Waiting is the best thing in the stock market. If you can wait for the right time, you can make more money. But if you are just, impatient with the market, you want to go in, you're missing out, and that FOMO kicks in, you're gonna lose more and more. At one point, you'll have nothing in the stock market. On VIX, it's up 4.41%. It was up, I think, nearly what, 8, 9, 10%. And look at the move here. You guys saw that bullish falling wedge right on my thumbnail and even in my previous video. And we got a breakout today, guys. Finally, we got a breakout here, but not quite the breakout that I'm looking for over 15 bucks. That did not take place today. So what can we look for going into next few sessions and next year? As long as this thing remains over 14 and we can get that breakout over 15, that's going to put pressure on S&P, and you're going to see, at least in the short term, a drawdown in the market and VIX heading back up to 16 to 18 bucks. And I think that's coming. That's coming very soon. You're going to see that. So far, we're just getting a confirmation, and it's just for one day, which is today. So I'm looking forward to it next couple days, and especially into New Year. See how this plays out. If we can actually break and hold 15 bucks on VIX, or we come back and make a new low, then this pattern would not work at that point. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.